I'm Morgan.
And I'm Ange.
And this is the Carbon Eye movie.
Carbon. Carbon is the building block of all life.
It is essential to all living systems, and without it, life as we know could not exist.
Carbon is all around us. It's in the grass. It's in the atmosphere.
It's in the horses, too.
Carbon reservoirs. Carbon reservoirs works in a cycle.
Each reservoir depends on one another to continue the system.
This is how the carbon cycle works. The grass gets the carbon from the atmosphere. Animals such as horses get carbon from the grass.
The ocean is also part of the carbon cycle. The ocean gets its carbon from the atmosphere. The total amount of carbon on Earth does not change. All of the natural carbon reservoirs balance each other out. That means an appropriate amount of carbon is naturally contained in each reservoir. Human industry upsets that balance by loading the atmosphere with too much carbon. Let's take a look at two carbon cycle diagrams. We start with the carbon in the atmosphere. Plants use the carbon from the atmosphere for photosynthesis. When plants and animals die, they decompose and their stored carbon turns into fossil fuels. Respiration from roots, plants, animals, and the ocean release carbon into the atmosphere. Fires and volcanoes do the same. Unfortunately, human industry also supplies the atmosphere with carbon by the burning of fossil fuels. So here's human industry, and it supplies the atmosphere. This diagram shows the carbon cycle in more detail. In summary, volcanoes, fires, respiration, and human industry release carbon into the atmosphere. Decomposition releases carbon into both the atmosphere and the soil. Plants and the ocean both take carbon from the atmosphere.
Carbon is also used in the ocean. The plants such as kelp can use the carbon in photosynthesis, and calcifers, like sea urchins, can use the broken down carbon to make their shells. Elevated carbon levels make the water more acidic, or in other terms, the pH level goes down. The more acidic the water gets, the harder it is on animals like the calcifers. When the water becomes more acidic, calcifers have a hard time forming their shells. Also, when they reproduce, the babies don't grow to full size.
Elevated carbon levels affect the atmosphere by forming a blanket around it. This ultimately causes our Earth's temperature to rise. This is called the greenhouse effect. This represents the greenhouse effect. This represents the enhanced greenhouse effect caused by human industry. It's like a blanket over our Earth. Here are some lifestyle choices that will eliminate the amount of carbon released from a reservoir into the atmosphere. Number 1, carpool. If you have the same schedule as someone you know, ask someone you know to carpool with them if you need to go somewhere such as volleyball practice. By carpooling with them, you reduce the amount of carbon that would have been released if you had used 2 cars instead of 1.
Oh, it's Jackie.
Hey, Mo. Hey, Jackie. So we have volleyball practice tonight. Do you want to come and carpool with me there?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, see you there. Bye. Bye.
Number 2, not burning unnecessary files. When it's cold, instead of building a fire or turning on your heater, grab a blanket or wear extra layers to keep warm. Also keep in mind that when you go camping, don't burn a campfire because you don't need it. You know what? I'm really cold. I'm turning on the heater.
Wait, instead of turning on the heater, put on extra layers.
Oh, thanks.
Number 3, reuse recyclable and non-recyclable items like plastic bags, cans, and bottles. And try not to use unnecessary plastics.
Would you like paper or plastic tea?
We bought a reusable bag. That's our presentation.